sorts. I don't like it aesthetically. I'm not investing.
I actually think you need one. I'm flabbergasted because that is no... I've seen much smaller PCs.
It's just not a business that I personally feel excited about. Unfortunately, it's not one for me, and I'm out.
So, have you had one full year of trading?
I'd say about 6 months.
It will vibrate, the lights will flash, and will show you on-screen notification, doorbell detected.
But I can't, you totally wiped me out. Totally wiped me out. You've done absolutely the wrong thing here.
Number 3, Slim PC. Fashion and practicality meet the high-tech business of personal computers. Dr. John Garside is presenting his brand spanking new baby, the Slim PC, as a replacement for the bulky and hard-to-move gigantic personal computers of before. He aims to revolutionize the computer business by introducing his invention, which is basically a cross between a personal computer and a laptop.
Hello, my name's Dr. John Garside, and I'm here to tell you about a £190,000 investment opportunity. First of all, I'd like you to imagine a product market worth an incredible $130 billion. And I'd like you to imagine that 99% of the products in that market look almost identical. A product that has all the power, flexibility and upgradability of the conventional desktop PC. What a customer wants: a budget 15-inch display Eco-PC, a fully loaded home media server, unique patent pending and DTI Smart Award-winning integration technology. Having all this in mind, I strongly believe that Slim PC represents a very good and solid investment opportunity.
Duncan Ballantyne seems entirely unimpressed with John's proud invention. John might be a proud papa, but Duncan's common sense approach is not impressed with his baby. Simon Woodruff is partnering with Duncan and isn't entirely impressed with the design of this PC. What a rocky start to a pitch John had been banking his high hopes on. With 2 dragons already out of the bidding, will the remaining have a more positive response? And it's Rachel Elnor's turn to indulge in a dialogue with Richard. But it seems that Rachel is also taking the same road as the previous dragons, and at this point, none of the dragons seem impressed with anything about this computer. John is persisting in his blind adoration for his invention, but Doug Richard has no good words to share with him over his baby. This ugly duckling is about to take a thrashing the minute it enters the market from the sheer edge other designs would have over it. Peter Jones has some pretty harsh words which are made all the worse by Duncan's hilarity. What an embarrassing reception to a pitch floated by a candidate who had crossed their threshold with stars in his eyes.
You said you were going to introduce something with revolutionary new style. What's different about it?
First of all, we've integrated the LCD display onto the platform in a completely flexible manner.
You said revolutionary new style.
Natural materials like hardwood, which in an environment where you're looking at aesthetics, that's revolutionary different.
Unless you can convince me very quick, it's not something that I would want to invest in. John,
That's everything you need.
I can only say 2 words. I'm out.
Sorts. I don't like it aesthetically. I'm not investing.
The best thing you could do would be to go to a much broader audience so that you can hear the reality is not investable. That is not an innovation.
You mentioned, obviously, you're a doctor. I actually think you need one. If you're classing that as a slim PC, I'm flabbergasted because that is no... I've seen much smaller PCs.
The dragons have passed judgment on Dr. Jones's invention, and the sentence has been an extremely harsh one. Number 2, Toad. Toad is an outdoor advertising directory bringing the general public closer to strategizing their own marketing campaign and launching it independent of big advertising companies. For George Hinson, the aim is to cut the red tape and make advertising available to smaller companies without any complications, through their websites available on interfaces across all sorts of traveling platforms.
My name's George Hinson, and I'm founder and CEO of Toad, the outdoor advertising directory. I'm here today to ask for £100,000 in exchange for 10% equity stake in the company. And the basic information like price, location, and availability of these signage sites were very difficult to acquire. So we set out to solve this problem. Now, what we've done is approach all the organisations that own and operate these sites. In the UK, it's around 500,000, and we've combined these billboards, bus stops, and phone boxes onto our platform and layered it with audience data. Anyone can search for, click, and buy these signage sites across the UK. Thousands of pins across London. Now there's a range of criteria there, like age, demographic, gender and interests. I welcome any questions and thank you very much for your time.
Tukur Soliman is a no-holds-barred grilling designed to make George sweat a little and ruffle his feathers in an effort to get into the nitty-gritties of his business and what he has exposed is a dichotomy between the actual valuation of his company and what George is asking for. Deborah Meaden wants to know what's the clever bit about George's company which does not seem to be offering anything new to the customers George intends to win to his side. Sarah Davies is the first loss of the day, as the advertising business is not her cup of tea.
I personally don't do any of this outdoor billboard advertising. I'll just be really honest, and there's no great way to flower this up. It's just not a business that I personally feel excited about. Unfortunately, it's not one for me, and I'm out.
Peter Jones has all the fingers and some toes in the high-tech industry, and amazingly, he is a bit impressed with the job George has done so far. Although Peter made a great beginning on his speech and sent George's spirits flying high as a kite, pulling out at the last moment has sent George's pitch to crash land in a ditch somewhere. And the hits keep on coming, with Deborah Meaden being the next dragon to abandon George.
I'm going to absolutely echo what Peter said, and if I were you, first thing I would do is to go back and see how you can add value to somebody else's proposition. I won't be investing, I'm out.
So have you had 1 full year of trading?
I'd say about 6 months.
So what's your first 6 months figures look like?
Invoices that are out the door, but that should be coming in shortly.
So what margin do you make on it?
15% down from that.
I love outdoor media, and we spend a lot. In fact, I think we're the largest spender of outdoor media in our vitamin industry.
While Tukur Soliman doesn't see any potential in George's idea, it's Taj Lavani who sees the good things George's idea has to offer, and he has made an offer of his own. 40% stake in return for £100,000 investment, plus business advice from the guru of business.
This field, but I've got a few investments in the marketing world. There's always the one thing which you've got to have, and that's your USP. You have not got a USP. You're just an agent. And unfortunately, for that reason, I'm not going to invest them out.
I think something like this should be packaged as a license to advertising agencies. I think your tech is good, but unfortunately, your valuation is way high. I could be interested in helping and working with you. On the basis that you'd be willing to focus on this direction of making a subscription model, I'll make you an offer. It comes at a price. So I'll offer you all the money, £100,000 for 45%.
Okay.
Go take a moment. Chat with the wall.
Okay.
It gives good advice.
4.5 times the equity that George wanted to give away.
Could you do 40?
It's 100K, it's a high valuation, you haven't got any sales, your direction's all over the place. It's going to take a lot of work.
I think I'd like to accept your offer, yeah?
Yes! Excellent!
Hey!
Not a mean deal indeed. Number 1, Clear Audios. Jamal and Anwar are offering a 20% ownership in their business in return for a £50,000 investment for their high-tech sound recognition converter. Their target audience is the United Kingdom, but at the moment, all they have to do is convince a couple of dragons in this den to join them on the playing field.
Good afternoon, Dragons. My name is Jamal Awasi, and this is my colleague Anwar Majarkish. We're here today to seek £50,000 of investment for a 20% share in our company. A company that has the sole and exclusive right to sell Bracy products in the UK. Bracy is a sound recognition platform that allows users to convert sounds that happen around them, an application that can help people to stop snoring, an application that can act as a baby monitor, application which helps the deaf, hard of hearing, and elderly to be able to feel safer, secure, and more comfortable. There are around 1 in every 6 people in the UK that have some degree of hearing loss. That's around 10 million.
So let's take a real-life situation. The application already downloaded on this phone. If we imagine a person who is deaf sitting in their home and their doorbell goes off, it will vibrate, the lights will flash, and will show you on-screen notification, doorbell detected. The smartwatch on my wrist will vibrate and will show me doorbell detected.
Peter Jones is impressed with what they're offering, but it's the investment offer he's not impressed with. It turns out that this dynamic duo is actually offering a 20% cut in the UK arm of their Denmark-based business, keeping the lion's share of their business completely free of the dragon's influence, and for him, that is a deal breaker. Deborah Meaden is not sparing any feelings as she gives a free tutoring lesson to these partners on how to attain investor confidence.
Started off by saying that you've got the license to this technology. So this isn't something you two have developed then? You cannot come in here in a technology product and offer me a distribution deal. That is absolutely bonkers.
What you've done here, you've failed to look at it from an investor's point of view. So you think, right, who can I get on board to help prove that model? I get exactly what you're doing. In what way would that interest me as an investor?
Guys, I'm not a mug. You can't come in here, pitch the very thing that you're selling, and then say, by the way, the IP sits over here.
Peter has succinctly presented the basic flaw in the business proposition being made by these two. The dragons in this den are much bigger than what they're proposing, and they don't like being treated like a common household lizard instead of the fire-breathing dragons they actually are. There has been a major miscalculation here, and it's certainly not been at the Dragon's Den. Nick Jenkins is in complete agreement with his other counterparts, and what these two are offering are extremely slim pickings for veritable giants of the business industry. It's obvious they have to revamp their entire planning and present a completely different idea if they are to retain any positivity from the Dragons. Peter Jones has had enough of this pair of shenanigans and has decided to pull himself out of this race, which was never a race in the first place. He has fired the first shot, and he is closely followed by Sarah Willingham and Deborah Meaden in no time.
Which is the technology, and distribute it around the world. I get it. To be a distributor, there's no value in that. I'd be a distributor without paying any money. I want to be in the holding company.
You've got Denmark and all the other countries. You've got the main company and all the other countries to look after. It's not a very attractive proposition. I love investing in people, but I am not interested in running a subsidiary.
That operates in about 170 countries. You want to try and basically offer me something that my 10-year-old would probably decline. For the fact that you're not even willing to discuss ownership in the technology, I have no interest in being another Me Too distributor, so I'm out.
You are going to look back on this, and I think you're going to realise how audacious it was to come in when the value sits somewhere else, and to kind of almost lord that value. Such a great opportunity, and we completely blew it. I'm really sorry, there's not a chance. I am definitely out.
But I can't, you totally wiped me out. Totally wiped me out. You've done absolutely the wrong thing here. You've structured it all wrong. It's not gonna happen. I'm out.
This pair's business plans to overtake the world has come to a premature end, all due to a tiny miscalculation which turned out to be a huge error. That's all we have for you folks today. Please join us next time.